Hey guys. How's it going? Wednesday. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in like a whole day. We did a live stream yesterday on the main channel. So this is our Wednesday. So what do we even talk about today? We talked about everything yesterday. If you guys have anything you didn't get in yesterday, then today's the day to do it. It's supposed to rain. It looks really dark out there, and it also said chances of thunderstorms. So hopefully we don't have a thunderstorm and I lose power. And I just picked up a new router today, a couple hours ago, and it's supposed to be better than my last one because I had my last one for years, and I'm like, is there a better? Because I don't get service through my whole house, so hopefully it's a better range. They said it's a better range. So I got a new router. We're all plugged in. We're ready to go. Here we are. You like the shirt? Zombie crew. I know I'm usually wearing black, but today put on the blue just for you guys. It matches my walls, doesn't it? What's everybody up to today? Dogs are tired. Full moon tonight. Yes, I know. Full moon last night too. Last night at about 2, 3 in the morning, I was out there. I did a live stream on my Instagram where I went out and I did a little live stream walk with my dogs. We went for a little. I took them separately. Went a total of a little over 3 miles, and the moon was just so bright. I took a bunch of pictures, and I decided to go live, do a live stream, and I figured, what if we did this like on a regular basis? Whenever I go for the walk with the dogs, we do a live stream, so we could tell spooky stories. Because I always go like in the dead of the night, when it's really dark out. But last night the moon shined the light on my way, and as soon as I went live to show you guys the moon, the clouds covered it. And as soon as I ended it, the clouds went away. That's why I did that little boomerang to show you guys. There's the moon, literally right after I stopped my live stream. So, I don't know. $90-degree weather in Florida right now. It's really humid here. 90 degrees is a little bit too much. It was 90 degrees a few days last week here when I was up mowing the lawn. Right now it's pretty humid, but I think it's in like the 70s. Let's see where let's see where we're at. We're at 72 right now. But the high was 90 today. That's weird. Anyway. Yeah, you guys like the unexpected live? Well, what if I did that and we told scary stories while I'm out there in the dark? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see any skunks or bears. I've seen skunks before. I've seen the bear before, but the skunk usually the dogs want to go play, and I'm like, nope, we're walking right by that skunk. Right by that skunk. A few years ago, I went out on my BMX, and it was a late night ride, and I was like a mile away from home, and I popped my tire, and I had to walk back. And as I was walking back on this like deserted, desolate road that is nothing but trees for like half a mile, there was a skunk walking on the road with me, and I'm like on the far side of the road as I'm walking, and the skunk is walking like parallel to me. I'm like, no, just go the other way. I got to get home. And he got sprayed by a skunk a few years back. It was a while ago. It was probably like 7 or 8 years ago. And he took a direct hit to his face, and that was the worst. He smelled like skunk for probably 6 months. Every time he would get wet, it would smell again. I couldn't smell anything but skunk. The garage was bad. Like it was horrible. So I make sure I don't like that to ever happen again. So whenever I take the dogs out back, I make a lot of noise. Hey skunks, I'm coming out. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by a skunk. They're cute, but vegan places in Philly. I really haven't been to many places in Philly, but I was at Blackbird Pizza. That was a good pizza, wings, seitan wings, stuff like that. I think they also have Philly cheesesteaks there. So that's definitely worth checking out. And I think there's a place called Veg, but I haven't been there. Veg. So the only one I can really recommend to you is Blackbird Pizza. And I'm sure there's somebody in here that lives in Philly or has been there and could probably give better recommendations. Yeah, the tomato sauce didn't work. I tried so many different things and they say all this stuff works. It didn't. I forget what actually did work. I think I made a mixture of a bunch of different things. Some dish soap, baking soda, vinegar. The tomato juice didn't really do anything. It's a chemical is what it is. So every time it would get wet, every time the tip of his nose would get wet, he'd smell like skunk. Literally for like 6 months. You went to pet a skunk because you thought it was a neighbor's cat? Wow. I haven't really seen. I smell them, but I haven't seen any skunks here in the neighborhood in the last like year or two. But I used to see them all the time when I would take the dogs for night walks. Now it's just pretty much bunnies. There was bunnies. There was a nest of baby bunnies in my front yard. I actually did a little video on it on my Instagram about a week and a half ago. You have no idea what a skunk smells like? Okay. And he's pooped on the floor right now. We've been going for some nice walks, as you could see in the video last night. The night before that, we walked. Well, not so much Indy because Indy doesn't. He's good after like a mile, but Zeke will go for. Zeke was just he's just got so much energy. We went for about 4.5, a little over 4.5 miles. So I got my steps in. The bunnies disappeared. So the mom got them out of there. Or they wandered away. But the next time I went out there to mow the lawn, they were gone. Yeah. So what else are we talking about today? It's windy out there. It's nice and cool in here. I'm going to California. I'm going to Dallas in California coming up in a couple weeks. Talk to Cesar. We're going to try to hit up some different restaurants out there in California when I get out there. Probably not as epic as like the last times I was out there because I'm only going to be there for a short while. Actually, I have no idea when I'm coming home. I haven't got a return ticket yet. I got to find one. But I'll be doing video of everything. You guys will be able to see everything that I do. Maybe not everything, but most of it. Like all the food that I eat and stuff. Well, before I went to get my new router, I stopped at the post office and I had a package, so no idea what's in it. We're gonna have to open it. Food videos coming up? Where's that? Chris becomes a nomad. I'm going to be meeting with people from my movie out there. That's pretty much the reason, the only reason, the main reason I'm going to California. Because the original trip was supposed to be to Dallas, but because I can get some movie stuff in there, we're gonna hit up Dallas and LA. I'm gonna be so tired. I'm gonna have to get up super early in the morning, fly to Dallas, spend the day in Dallas, get on a plane after I'm done with Dallas on the same night, fly to LA. When I get to LA, I have no idea. I have no idea where I'm going. So at least I'll be in LA. How long does the flight to Dallas? It's too long. I don't like to be on a plane for really long at all because I'm really claustrophobic. And when you put having to wear a mask on top of being claustrophobic, like I don't even want to think about it. I hope I can handle it. I don't know, to be honest. I wanted to wait until the whole mask thing was gone before I had to do this. I have a layover in Washington, D.C., so the whole flight altogether, I, I got to look at it again, but I think it's like 6 or 7 hours of it's gonna suck. I'm trying not to think about it. But Dallas to LA, a little bit less, but still, I think it's like 3 hours or something. Well, yeah, I need to like I used to be okay, but the older I get, the more claustrophobic I am, and just being stuck on like a plane, knowing that that could be the last time I step my foot anywhere, it's just so confined, and I have to be. I can't even be on a plane unless I'm on the aisle seat, just so I have enough room to just. If I feel like too enclosed, I already feel enclosed, but if I feel too enclosed, like if I'm in the middle or something, I'll freak out. Like it's crazy. I can't even like, and I don't freak out over much, but being claustrophobic is really bad for me. I know I want to see my sister. I'm only doing I'll be at the airport. I almost want to just say it would totally suck though. It would suck either way, but I kind of just want to be like, you know what? I'll just drive. It's so far though. I hate driving long distances too, but at least I'm not claustrophobic when I'm driving. That's another thing. Like when I was younger, I'd like if I'm driving with anybody and if I wasn't driving, I wasn't sitting in the front seat, like I was like claustrophobic if I was packed in the back. So, when I got older, when I finally got my own car, like even if it didn't make sense to like drive two cars somewhere, I'd be like, you know what, I'm just gonna drive because I didn't want to be stuck in a position where like I was crammed in the back somewhere. Just be not trying to be difficult. I'm just super claustrophobic. I can't sit like that. When I start freaking out, it's like it's real. I'll probably be tired too. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to sleep on the plane. I don't like wearing the mask for too long too, either because it gives me that feeling of claustrophobia. Like I need to like, it's just, that's why I pretty much stay at home. Oh, it would take a long time. I think it's a 3-day drive to LA. It's like, what is it, like 3,000 miles? Memorial Day plans. I think I'm going to go hang out with Craig. I don't know if my family are doing anything. Who knows? It took you 4 days to drive to Florida. That's a nice, comfortable ride. I did it in 1 day, and it was like the worst drive I ever did. Well, actually, I drove home from Florida. Worst drive. I never wanted to drive again. I parked my car, and I just slept for like 24 hours straight. The whole drive was about 23. And that was when I lived in Florida. I packed my stuff up and I came home. It was after school, after I was done with school down there. I used to love driving, and then when I started driving long distances, like I just hated it. I don't mind driving like within reason, like, less than an hour somewhere. The flat tire award. Yep, I got a flat tire coming home too. That was a whole. I already told that story, but that was a crazy time. You stopped in Ocean City, Maryland. How long ago did you do that? Buffalo to San Diego in 3 days. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty good. That's real good. You went down to the southern tip of California. California is a big state. Oh, it was a couple of weeks ago. Cool. Where in Florida did you go? I got to go back to Florida sometime. I used to live there. I used to live in Sarasota back in 95, 96, 97. I haven't been back there since. Well, no, I did go back in 99 or 2000. Visited there for like a week or so. And then that's it. It's been 20 years. I want to do another movie night again soon. So we just watched that new zombie movie by Zack Snyder, um, Army of the Dead, which kind of takes the theme of George Romero movies. Oh, you're in Port Charlotte, about an hour from Sarasota. You're there right now. Oh, cool. Where'd you drive from? Where are you from? You're from you're from up here in New York, right? It's nice. It's got one of the nicest beaches, Siesta Key. It's one of the nicest beaches in the country. It's like all white sand. I don't like the beach. I didn't really go there. My friend at the time was like a delivery driver on his bike, on his motorcycle, and he worked at this cafe, and they would make sandwiches and deliver them. And I think he said that he delivered sandwiches to one of the guys from ACDC over on, was it Siesta Key or Longboat, somewhere down there. That's some really nice houses. And my first job that I got when I moved down there, I was 19 years old, and I moved down there with like my last paycheck that I had from up here, and I also went to the casino, which there's a casino up here, and it was brand new at the time. So I went there, and I'm like, all right, if I win any money, I'm just moving to Florida, and if I don't win any money, I guess I'm not moving to Florida. And I won. I won like $800. So I took all the money I had, which was I think a total of less than, it was either $1,000 or $1,200, and I just moved to Florida with a couple friends, and I just lived on my own for the first time in my life. And I realized when I got down there, I'm like, well, I got to get a job right away. Like I didn't know but my friend um, worked waste management, and our other mutual friend, her uncle was one of the main managers at the place. So I became a garbage man. Wow, it was like At the time, I thought the pay was awesome, but it really wasn't because you got a set amount of pay no matter how many hours a day you worked. So I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. I mean, back in 95, I think it was like $72 a day. I'm like, that's a lot of money. But they worked us 14, 15-hour days every single day but Sunday. And there was really no day off because Sunday, like, you literally had to just sleep just to recuperate, only to go back the next day. And we picked up garbage from Michael Jordan's house down there, from Cher's house down there. I think Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, from wrestling. I could tell you a bunch of garbage man stories that I had. I almost freaking uh, probably would have died. I almost got ran over by it, and I guess that happened a couple weeks before I started the job there with somebody else. So yeah, got some garbage man stories. So it seems to me like the jobs that I had in my life that I did the most strenuous physical labor were the lowest paying jobs that I ever had, and the jobs where I did the least amount of physical labor, they were the best paying jobs. So it's just weird how that, like, that's not what I thought it was when I was a kid. But I learned. I guess that's not true in all cases, but for me it was. Um, yeah, I only had that job for 2 weeks. I could not. There's I no. I ended up quitting that job, and that was crazy. That job was crazy. Like, I couldn't do it. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, it's like no money, no life. Like, what am I doing? I just moved down here to uh, just constantly do this and then sleep on Sunday. Never hang out with anybody, never see anybody. It was bad. So I quit that job and I got a job at a restaurant, and then you know I bought a used car across the street. That was my first car that I got down there, and then yeah, and then it was a little better. Definitely wasn't worth the money. It was crazy because I remember the first day that I worked there. Like, I didn't, like, no training or ever. They're like, it was like 5 in the morning. They're like, all right. So I get in the garbage truck, and the guy drives, and he goes to like this. Well, the first place we went was like this trailer park, and he's like, all right, get out. And I'm like, and what? He's like, just grab the garbage, throw it in there. I'm like, okay. And it was just like crazy. And I'm like, I'm like saying, I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I literally just woke up and I'm already like, like just doing crazy continuous labor, jumping on, going to the next step, boom, 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 boom. And I had some funny stories too. I fell off it a couple times. Um, we went to like a richer area and in early in the morning, and we were picking up garbage, and these little kids that were waiting for the school bus that were probably in like elementary school, they started calling me a garbage. They're like, you're a garbage picker. And I'm just like, I'm a garbage man. You're a garbage picker. I'm like, oh man, this is embarrassing. um, I remember there was a bunch of brush, like lawn brush, lawn clipping, all different kinds of lawn stuff. And I don't know what happened, but like, when we were driving home, this is after a long day of work, and then we were like in the back of, I don't know, we were in the back of this like uh, attachment wagon to the truck with all like the branches and everything in. And then when we got out of there, like my knee hurt, and I'm like, why does my knee hurt? Like it itched, and I'm like, oh, there's a bump on my knee. And I looked, and I had like this pricker thorn sticking in my knee. So I was like, oh, let's pull that out. And I started pulling it out and pulling it out, and it was like that long. It was just like in my knee, and I didn't even know it. It was like I pulled it right. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. One of the funniest things is like when the truck goes, it goes from early in the morning, neighborhood. It was light out because I would go to work when it was dark out, and I would come home when it was dark out. and I'm on the back of the truck, and it would go to one house, and it would put on the air brake, and it would come to a slow stop. I would jump off, grab the garbage, throw it in there, and I was still pretty new, so I misjudged it, and when it went to slow down, it goes to slow down, and like if you do it right, you just step off and grab the stuff, throw it on there. I misjudged it when it was going a little bit too fast, and I jumped off, and I just fell right on my face, and I just I just got right up. I'm a skateboarder, I fall all the time, but I got off it, and I'm like, oh, going way too fast, boom. I'm like, I look around, make sure nobody saw me there, grab the garbage, throw it in there. I wonder if anybody did see that. That would be funny if I looked out the window. they like just planted on their face and then got up and grabbed your garbage and threw it in there. The time that I almost died was, okay, you're doing this all day. So in your head, it's just like, as soon as that air brake comes on, whoosh, you jump off, right? So house after house after house after house, hour after hour after hour after day after day after day. We come to this cul-de-sac and it goes whoosh, and it stops. So I jump off, but it wasn't stopping to get garbage. It was stopping to do a 3-point turn, and it started going in reverse. And I'm like, and I had nothing to grab onto, and I couldn't move out of the way. I couldn't move out of the way because it was like I was right in the middle of it. And if I tried to move out of the way, it just would have ran right over me. Like tons of garbage truck run, I'd be dead. And that's what happened to somebody else. So it's backing up, and there's nothing for me to grab onto. So what do? I mean, I'm a pretty good critical thinker. I knew what I had to do. It wasn't like, I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to save my life, but I jumped in the garbage truck. I just like hopped in there and I laying in the garbage, because if I didn't, I'd be dead. I'm glad I did that too, because I wouldn't be here talking to you if I didn't do that. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're on the garbage truck. Security camera footage. That was back in 95. I don't think there was too many security cameras out there. Oh yeah, I jumped in the garbage truck. Dead by garbage. What else? Any other good stories? Well, okay, I'll tell you one more since we're talking about this. So now I'm driving with my friend that got me the job with her uncle. I think his name was Mark, and he was one of the guys that had been there for a long time. And we're driving and we're just making small talk, and he's talking to me. And I decided, because I heard all about it when I first started, I decided to be like, yeah, I heard one of the drivers ran over a guy, a couple months ago. And he's like, yeah, that was me. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was 19. What am I going to say? Should I just redo this video as like my garbage man stories? My experience as a garbage man. So yeah, I've had all kinds of jobs. Garbage man. What? So then I worked at a restaurant, and that was, I preferred the restaurant a lot better. I definitely wasn't. I definitely didn't have to do what I did before. I always liked working in the food industry, although I was a germ freak. So like I'm continuously washing my hands after I'm making food and getting greasy and stuff like that. But it did teach me how to like, cook different things and veganize different things. And, I did that for a while. And then I came back home, got a job back up here in some different food places. But I remember when I lived down there, I came up to visit with some friends, my family and stuff. And very stupidly, I went back to that casino and I lost all my money. So I couldn't go back to Florida because I lost all my money. So I had to get a job here. I got a job at the Olive Garden for the summer to get enough money to go back down there. What was I thinking? Yeah, so I worked at the Olive Garden for a little while. And I went through all the ingredients there like a maniac, trying to find everything that was vegan. A lot of things are different now. So at the time, certain things were vegan and certain things aren't vegan anymore. So I don't know. That was 97, I think. And then I ended up coming back here. I moved back here for a few years. And then I worked at a few places up here. And that's where I had that weird, like awkwardness with, a lot of vegans go through where somebody does something nice for you. They make you something like a whole cake, and then you got to be like, I can't eat it, I'm vegan. That kind of thing. So that's one of my most notable things that was like kind of awkward for me, but I had to say something. And then I moved back down to Florida in a different area. I moved to Gainesville. I went to University of Florida. I worked at a courthouse down there. I worked at Alachua County Courthouse after hours, so I was the only one in the building. They gave me access to the whole building. They gave me that little key card, and I was in the computer room, and I would have to print out all these different documents, and then I'd have to put them on a table in certain order for the lawyers and judges and district attorneys and everybody for the next morning. And that was my job. It was a part-time job down there. And then I was done with that. I came back up here and I was looking at schools in New York City. Why are we even talking about? I'm just talking. I looked at schools in New York City. I was going to go that semester, but then I was unable to go that semester because 9/11 happened when I was down there. So I took another semester off, and then I ended up going to school down in New York City, and that's where I finished my degree, down in New York City. And I lived down there for a few years, and now I'm back here. I've been a few different places. I've been to Florida. I lived in Virginia, down by the D.C. area. I lived in New York City, and I lived in Rochester, and of course here in Syracuse. So those are the places I've lived. What about you? You get me talking about something, I can talk forever. But then if there's nothing to talk about and I don't know what somebody wants me to talk about, I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. I like you guys to ask the questions because then I can talk. But if I just start talking like I just was, like, who wants to hear this? Maybe some of you. I don't know. Philly, Omaha. I've been to Omaha. I went to Omaha, did some videos there, made some food. I did a few videos on there. I don't know. Yeah, I was in New York City when 9/11 happened. In fact, I still have my bus ticket. I had a bus ticket for 10 in the morning, I think it was, to come home from New York City Port Authority to Syracuse, and it was canceled. I was stuck in the city. I was walking around Manhattan right when that happened. I was stuck down there for about 2 weeks after that because there was no transportation going in or out of the city when it happened. It was very surreal experience. If you want to see in detail my story, I have a couple videos on my YouTube channel, my 9/11 story. Yeah, I was there. Very, very, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the things I saw, the things I heard, and the experience I had when I was there. Yep, I was there. Rebalancer lived in places none of us would have heard of. You live in England and Scotland. Yeah, I went to Whole Foods when I was in Omaha. I was hanging out with my friend Isa, and she has a restaurant out there called Modern Love. And we were working on, I was working on like a different cookbook, not the Vegan Zombie cookbook, but a different one. Never went through with it all, but it's still a great idea. I still might do it at some point. But we were making up recipes in her kitchen from scratch, so that was fun. We did a few videos in Whole Foods, and I think that's about it. Omaha. It was really, really cold. We went by Warren Buffett's house. Surprisingly, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, lives in a pretty modest house. He's got a regular modest car that any of us could afford pretty much. Yeah. And that's all I have to say about that. Scotland Town village. Yeah, Rochester in England. You live in Rochester, England, and I'm just right over the way from Rochester, New York. I almost said Rochester, Syracuse. Rochester, New York. Rochester. When am I moving into John's treehouse? Did you like that? Did you like that video? It's pretty nice. I don't know if I would. I don't think I would be claustrophobic in it. It is a little, but it's pretty awesome. Um, 35 minutes we've been on. I've been rambling for 35 minutes. What else do you guys want to hear about? Do you want to hear, what do we want to talk about? Vegan stuff. This isn't my vegan zombie channel, so we can talk about, whatever, vegan stuff, horror related stuff, movies. If you guys want to know any more, if there's anything interesting you want to hear about what I did when I was growing up, yeah, I mean, what's fun? I like the movie talk. I like talking about movies and stuff, but we gotta have another movie night on some more 80s movies. Bucket to haul up Indy. Yeah, you'd have to have like a little harness for them. Pull them up there, or one of those chairs that like take you up, like disabled people. Like it's the one in Gremlins where like she's going up the staircase. What's my favorite movie? Geely. When I said I had a almost how I almost died video, you want to hear my other how I almost died? Well, I did. I didn't officially do the other one. I did a live stream of it. It was one I was on the mountain, and I almost fell off the mountain because of the ice. That was one. That was another one. A couple of them I can't really. I can't really talk about. Too confidential. I think one or two of you know the story, but it's a bad story, and it's probably not good. Maybe someday I'll tell it, but it's probably not something that most of you guys want to hear. That makes everybody want to hear it even more. We are going to watch Goonies. We are definitely going to watch Goonies. I just don't know when. When's the next cooking show for pizza? Wow, we have so many pizza already. You know, should we do cooking live? I don't know if the lives are that. I don't know. I got some taste test videos to do. And I did mention yesterday that maybe we'll do. I'll kind of remake some of the older recipes that I did. I've got like a ton of pizza recipes, so yeah, we're gonna watch ET on June 11th. Actually, well, I got to see what day June 11th is first because I don't know, but I do. I am planning. June 11th is a Friday. Yeah, that would be perfect. Natural allergy help. I don't see. I don't have allergies, so I'm not really. I know some anti-inflammatories. Natural ones would be like turmeric root, ginger. Like some of those, you could juice, drink some of that. I would mix it with like a cucumber or maybe a carrot or apple to make it less um, displeasing. You kind of like got to plug your nose and just swallow it. But I don't know if that's the same. I know, but I don't really think I can tell this story. Not yet. Maybe someday. Live dessert baking videos? Probably not, unless it's going to be like a parody or something. Dessert is something like you got to get, I don't know. Well, maybe I could do my brownie video. That one's, I don't know. If that's what you guys want to see as live videos, maybe we could do that. The problem is I got to like trek well, I got the new modem. So maybe if I have a good enough signal down there in the kitchen now, we could try that out. I don't like streaming from, like right now I got a good stream going. It's because I got a nice computer. But if I go downstairs and do it, it's going to be on my laptop, which doesn't handle it as well. So I feel like it's not as good as a stream. Otherwise, if I had, a super duper equipment to do that with, I'd probably do more live streams in the kitchen. Because whenever I'm doing something down there, I'm like, oh man, too bad we can't live stream this. I'll have to figure that out. Ari, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for the live stream. Like this video. Like it. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up if you like it. And like I was saying before, I think the algorithm is failing me because I think most people, I know not everybody likes to share stuff, but at least thumbs up it and make a comment. Even if you don't really have anything to say, just comment anything. Just smiley face or cool or something, or I like your beard. I don't know. Just comment something, because then I think the algorithm thinks that so many people are interacting that, we got to show this to more people. But when nobody interacts, it's just like dead video. Don't show it to anybody. Besides, it's just Chris. He doesn't have anything good to say. We should make some dessert videos in the desert. I haven't been in New York City in, about a year and a half. But you want me to show you around Syracuse? Like, do kind of like a live stream where we just go around Syracuse? Or just do a video and then show you all the Syracuse spots? I could do that. This is where I grew up. This is where I usually went for a walk. This is where chocolate lasagna. Travis, you got my attention. Do I play an instrument? No. Unfortunately, no. I haven't been keeping up with it, but I bought a keyboard because I wanted to teach myself the piano. So I was learning a little bit. So I know a little bit, but not. I would have to say no. But I want to get better and track my progress and be like, oh, this is me like a year ago. I can't even play anything, and now here I am playing Earth Prelude by Ludovico Einaudi. That's why I bought it. Actually, I want to play that song. I did learn it, but very poorly. Don't open myself to stalkers. Oh, you want to see my city, but right. Well, I mean, you guys, most of you know that I live in Syracuse. So all you'd have to do is be like, Google image Syracuse. Okay, there's Syracuse. There's the Everson Museum. There is, I don't know. Killer Queen says, Annie Brand Shoes is no longer in business, so we can't order them. I actually didn't know that. They used to be one of my sponsors, and I used to work with them, and I'm actually wearing them right now. They're my favorite shoes. And when the pandemic happened, so the guy was very small business. He was doing it himself, and he had to drop the sponsorship because he couldn't, do it. So I continue to support it, just because I love the shoes. They're all vegan. I did not know that they went out of business, because that sucks, because I'm in need of a new pair, you know. Darn it. I didn't know that. Yeah, I still continue to wear any brand right now. I'm gonna have to find another shoe now. Chocolate pasta is a thing. I think chocolate anything is a thing. Yeah, I don't like to ever say exactly what store I go to. There's a bunch of different stores I go to, so I don't want to say like the one I go to most of the time. But most people know, like, oh, this is the good one. I like to go to this one, but that doesn't mean that's the one I go to all the time. Were you able? Yeah, so you did actually, you were able to get any brand before they went out of business then. I'm so, man, that sucks, because I literally, oh yeah, the moon, Molly. Yep, I'm gonna be looking for it tonight, but it's really cloudy right now. I'm actually, well, these are like falling apart because I've worn them so much, but I really like the slip-ons. They're just so comfortable, and they are, because I've worn these for like the last couple years. They're already thin soled, so like, I walk a lot in them. I need a new pair. God darn it. Vago. So what I personally just heard is Vago is not selling anymore in the United States. I think nobody was really buying them. So, man, if only people really knew how good those were. I think people just didn't really know about them. And, for the stores that did have them, people didn't realize, you got the best chocolate right in front of you and you're walking right by it. So, yeah, it's going to be even harder. And you know what? This is all I have left of Vago. One tiny little piece of chocolate. That's it. I'm going to make that last for the rest of my life. What? Is anyone watching from a mental hospital? Any brand website still up. I couldn't find any mention of them going out of business. Did you contact them and they said that? I mean, I could message him and see. I wonder if he still has any stock left that he could send me a pair of shoes. Rebalancer, yeah. Buy up all the Vago when you're there. Well, when you're just living where you are right now. Yeah, they're still on Amazon, but they're expensive on Amazon. Oh, it's still up. Oh, they still have shoes for sale. Yeah, the shoe sizes are a little bit weird, so I forget what size it is that I give them. I don't remember. I don't remember if the sizes are half a size smaller or half a size big. I can't remember. If you can wear them in a mental institution, hospital, probably, because there's no. Well, the ones I have on have no. They're just like they're almost like slippers, so slip-ons. There's no shoelaces on them or anything. You could probably wear them. Training wear size 7. Well, I got a package right here I need to open. I went to the post office today. So, what's in the box? What was in the box? Oh, what's in the box? Okay. It's very well taped. I don't want to rip anything. I really have no clue what this is. I better look at it first. Maybe I shouldn't show you guys. I don't know. I always wonder, like, what's in here? Oh, what is it? What is it? Okay, Temecula, California. Well, it's shoes. If these were shoes, do you know how small my feet would be? They're shoes for Indy. Okay, I gotta cut this. I can't. There. Okay, so it's got bats on it, and pumpkins, and vampire teeth. Little goodie package here. We got pumpkins. Perfect time of year too. I mean, all year long is good for me. Kaleidoscope, a little top, a little kitty. This is a little kitty bag full of stuff, right? It's called Mystic Crypt. Mystic Crypt, 10% off any purchase. Okay. What else do we got? We got the things that that make you go ooh in the night. Spiders, vampire teeth. These look like they might be glow in the dark. I don't know. I think they're too little to put in my mouth. I got the legit vampire teeth. Oh, and a balloon. What's this? A balloon with something on it. Not sure. A little eraser. Do you guys remember our erasers? I never used erasers because I never really made mistakes. All right, we'll put all this back in there. So the dogs, oh, also, look, a little kitty. Little kitty cat. Early Halloween. What's up, Warren? How's it going? We're opening up a package right now from Mystic Crypt. What is this? Mystic Crypt. Mystic Crypt. Okay, let's open this up. Oh, we have tofu. It's tofu, the vegan zombie. Have you guys seen this before? Tofu, the vegan zombie. Voodoo River. Tofu, the vegan zombie. Warning, choking hazard. So it's a zombie with a piece of tofu on his head. Oh, grains. Cool. Well, Mystic Crypt, thank you. We got some Halloween-inspired stuff over here. Tofu. Mystic Crypt. Tofu, the choking hazard. I still got that tofu that I made a couple days ago. Super good. Did I make it yesterday? I think I did. And let's see, we got one more thing here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is from somebody that is in the chat right now. You know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. Okay, so I don't know how else to address this other than to just address it. You've wrote so many letters, so many actual letters to my P.O. box and every different platform, Facebook, multiple accounts, email, Instagram. And I told you to stop sending me stuff. I blocked you after you started sending stuff to my personal house address when I told you just you found my house address. And then you found my actual phone number. You text me, you called me, you left a message on my phone. This has been going on for the last few years. I've been nice. I just ignored it, and then I told you to stop. You kept harassing to the point where I just said stop, and I blocked you, and I took you off of my platform. And I'm trying to be nice, but like, I'm not stupid. I know that you're still on my site and you're still watching my stuff and support my channel for whatever reason after I told you no. And all you had to do was just not say anything anymore. But you continue to write to me, to send things to me after. I mean, I don't know. What if I was doing this to somebody else? Would I be canceled? Like, this isn't okay. Like, I'm not trying to say people, like, you know, I'm unapproachable or anything, because I'm not. But you've said inappropriate things. You've said things where I was like, look, this is it. We're not talking anymore. You just keep sending me stuff. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm just going to block you, and you're going to make a new name, and you're going to keep doing this. Even your husband said it was weird that you were crossing the line. What is going on? I don't know how else to address it than just to address it right here. So this isn't okay that you keep sending me stuff like this, and I don't know how else to do it than just to address it in public. You know who you are, and you know, I don't want people to think I'm not approachable, because I am. I'm nice. I like to talk to people. I like to meet new people. I like to help people out. That's not it. But when you cross the line and then I say no, and then you keep coming, you keep sending me stuff over and over and over and over again, and you change names, then you have other people send me stuff. That's not okay. Like, this is a thing. I guess this is real. Like, this, you know, people tend to see people on YouTube and stuff all the time. And then some people might think that they know the person when the other person doesn't know you. And, you know, I'm always down with trying to help people and stuff, but this has crossed the line for the last, at least the last year and a half. So all you had to do was say nothing. I knew you were still coming to my channel, and all you had to do was just keep quiet. But you're still sending me stuff. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, like, other than to address it in public like this. This is something that's very awkward. I've never had to do this before, and I'm generally not like this, but you called my phone. You found my number and you called me. You left me a message You text me. You send stuff to my house, my actual house. And I have all the proof. So, I don't know. I hope you listen to me this time and stop doing this. I know exactly who you are, and I'm not stupid. I knew you came back to my site under a different name, and I let it go. That's why I don't respond to you. That's why I don't like your posts. It's why I don't interact with you at all. Stop. All right, so now what? No, I'm not gonna call it. I'm not gonna call the police. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm completely fine. It's just, I don't know. Like, if this was the other way around and I was the one doing this, it would not be okay. So, like, I don't know why it's okay for people to do it to me, and I don't want people to think that I'm like mean or rude or anything like that. But this specific thing has crossed the line for a long time, and I've never even replied to any of those messages, and you still send them. So it has to stop. I don't care if this is just a card to me or whatever, just saying all good things. I don't want them. You've already ruined it. Like, you've ruined it. It's over. Don't try to contact me. Well, yeah, sorry you guys all had to listen to that, but I don't know what else to say like than to just address it right here. What was sent to me? You know exactly what was sent to me. Look, I mean, yeah, this has been going on for like a couple years at least. Not to this point, but I mean, I could play your audio. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but you called me, you left a message on my personal phone. Like, what? I don't. That's not cool. Almost a year ago today. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about it. Those of you who know who it is, just let it go. Just please don't contact me again. Anyway, let's talk about something happy. Yeah, what else are we what else are we talking about? We're gonna do more. We're gonna do Goonies on movie night. I want to do Flight of the Navigator. Um, I want to have like a whole '80s theme. Who has seen Brewster's Millions? I want to watch that again. I loved it as a kid, and it's got Richard Pryor in it, and he inherits all this money. He's got to use it. If he doesn't use it all, he gets nothing. He has to do it within 30 days. I want him to remake that movie. That's a movie I would love to see like in modern day, but um, I'd like to see that again just because I haven't seen it in so long. And the other one that I always told you guys about that maybe we could watch would be like Savannah Smiles, which is an old movie from the 80s. I think it was 82 or something. And I used to love it as a kid. And I still quote it all the time. I might even quote it tonight whenever I'm making potatoes. Yeah. If it's not pouring out tonight, I'll probably do another walk. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I won't do it every night, but when I do, I'll try to do a live, and we'll, even if it's like only a couple minutes long. If you follow me over on my Instagram account, the Vegan Zombie, I do that. So um, I did it last night, and it was fun. So I'll just think of something random to talk about or whatever while I walk my dog. I just think it would be fun for us to do like scary, spooky stories while I'm out there walking in the dark. Sometimes you cry. Anyone else? Only when I watch ET. It's the only thing that can do it. I don't have rollerblades, but I have a couple skateboards and some BMXs. Uh, what about Savannah Smiles? It's a good movie. It was one of my favorites when I was little. Oh, if you want to cry, okay, we can watch movies that'll make you cry. Brewster's Millions is better than what? I love Brewster's Millions. We're definitely gonna have to watch it. Does anyone else always quote Young Frankenstein? I don't. I, I'm sure I did, but I can't think of any that I have lately quoted from Young Frankenstein. I haven't seen that movie in probably 24 or 5 years. I think I saw it when I was like a teenager. I'll definitely get a, after this, I'll get a hold of Annie Brand and see if there's any more shoes in stock. Have I ever had migraines? I don't know. I'll tell you this. I used to have really bad headaches, which might have been a migraine. I don't know, but they were really bad when I was a little kid. And once I turned 14, I did two different things when I was 14. I identified with the term straight edge, which means I had already been drug free. I've never done drugs or alcohol or anything, especially at 14. But I also stopped taking medicine. My mom would always like, here's a Tylenol, here's an aspirin if, I had a headache, and it never seemed to work. And the other thing I did was I went vegetarian at that same time. And since I was 14, which was 31 years ago, I have never had a headache since. Not even a little headache, let alone a migraine. I had really bad pounding headaches before, so maybe it was a migraine, but I don't know. I did see Army of the Dead. We did movie night for Army of the Dead. Um, yeah, I guess I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the best, and I think it didn't need to be 2.5 hours long, but it was okay. Yeah, I said in the movie stream that it reminded me of Dawn of the Dead meets Ocean's 11, and then I saw a review and they said the same exact thing. So yeah, it was fun. Um, Probably not one of my favorites, but yeah, it was definitely. If it wasn't 2.5 hours, I would tell everybody to go watch it. That's long for a zombie movie like that. Abby Normal. Am I going to stream on Twitch later? I might. I was talking to Lena about it, so I might do that. I don't know if I was going to do chess or EverQuest or both. I don't know. Tom says my migraines went down 75 to 90% after going vegan. Yeah, I never got them again either, and I don't know if that's the reason why I stopped getting them. But you got to remember, like when you're eating meat and dairy, there's hormones and antibiotics and all these things that are going into that animal's body that now you're consuming. So, I mean, that was that was my idea of why, but I can't prove that. I don't know if that's the reason, but it just makes sense. Like you're consuming like other beings, hormones, and the antibiotics that go in there, and it's going through your body. So like, I mean, it's plausible that that could give you migraines or just even headaches. And I stopped having them after I did these two things. So, and I'm not exaggerating. I have never had a headache again, and I'm glad because they sucked. I hated them. Can I eat a whole block of yes, actually I just did the other day. When I make a whole block all prepared, I made that barbecue glazed seasoned tofu, baked tofu, and yeah, you could eat the whole block of that. Yeah, I got to watch Young Frankenstein again. It's been a while. I have seen it, but yeah, it's been a while. Do I remember when I did the first Corona Live? Yeah, I do. I was crazy, like going back and watching that or remembering what that was, and here we are now, over a year later. I would love to see a remake of Brewster's Millions now. It would have to be like Brewster's Billions. Yeah, that sucks. If you still have migraines, like I feel bad because yeah, that was no good. And I think I know what they mean. I haven't had them since I was a little kid, but fever dreams, I didn't know the meaning of it back then. But when I was little, like yeah, I had those. Like it was awful. You've had a bad headache since last night, Rose. It could, yeah, that could be it if it's lack of sleep. Sometimes when I have a lack of sleep and I don't sleep, I it doesn't. I don't get a headache or anything, but I can feel my heart like speed up and start racing, and it's just like I'm not feeling right. So like, yeah, you can't like you need sleep. What was I watching? I saw something. Maybe it was on TikTok. It was somebody talking about sleep. So the average person, like you sleep, 7 hours a day, and like how many hours that is a year, and then so for for my age, how old I am, I've been sleeping 10 years of my life. I forget the exact calculation on it, but 7 times a week times a year times how old you are, and yeah, I've been sleeping for 10 years of my life. I've been asleep. So if you're around my age, you're probably around the same. The walls in my office, it's like a dark blue, and then the one that you can't see is white. I got the light reflecting off that one, so it lights me up here. And then the rest of the walls are blue, dark blue, with a bunch of horror related movie posters and ET. You stopped after the train station. The movie, yeah, it's long. Will I have a house products video? Laundry detergents, soaps, etc. are that are good and not too expensive. Do I always buy the not too expensive ones? I try. Yeah, maybe we could do that. I'm not caught up on The Walking Dead. I think I have like 3 episodes to go from where I am. It's been horrible trying to get through it. I'm not into it. I loved the first few seasons, and it's just so bad now. Peppermint oil, ginger tea, and beta blockers often help migraines, according to Rebalancer. You've slept about 2 years total. Sometimes I feel like that's how me too. Like sometimes I just don't sleep. I didn't get too much sleep last night either, but it's essential. Have a good night, Ari, and thanks for that super chat. For the longest time, you thought I was your age. And, well, what's your age? And then you found out I was a bit older, and you were shocked. I hope I look. I usually get away with people thinking that I'm a little bit younger than I am. I think part of it is I refuse to get old. I mean, I've been around for a long time, but that doesn't mean I'm still like a kid at heart. Do I ever cook farro? Yes. Do I do it often? No. I haven't done it very often. Sometimes I'll cook it for my dogs. You're at 5.5 years of sleep. It's crazy when you think about it how long you've been asleep for. You thought I was 33ish. Oh, thank you. When you started watching my yeah, I was more like the first one when you started watching my channel. If you started watching it when I started. I don't know, like it's weird because like when I was younger, I thought that the age that I am now was like really old and that people look old and stuff, but now that I'm here, I don't feel any different than I was when I was, in my 20s. I don't feel old. I feel like I can still do everything I used to do. I think I think the key is you gotta treat your body right. You gotta eat right. You gotta exercise, and mentally you can't like just give in and say, okay, I'm getting old. Like, you just gotta always think like, no, I'm young and vibrant, and I can do all the same things I used to do, and there's really no difference now than there was then. Just I've been here a little bit longer, and you know, I don't know if that's the truth or not, but I'm not willing to play around with that because it seems to be working. So, you know, I'm very skeptical, but that's my view on it at least. Veganism usually does well, like a nice little positive side effect for most people, as long as you're eating, healthy. Would I rather be a vampire or a wraith? A vampire. Your kid asked if you shouted or if that happens to me sometimes. It's like that loud bang or clapping syndrome or whatever it is, where you think you heard something really loud and you wake up, but nothing really happened. But in your mind, your auditory nerves hear it. That happens to me. I know. I feel like that too. I feel like when I was a kid, like watching some of the movies that we watched, people that are younger than I am now just seemed and looked older. And I don't know. Is it just a thing? Like, I mean, for instance, hold on. Let me just do some math real quick because I want to find something for a perfect example of that. Because okay, so hold on. I'm gonna look somebody up real quick. There he is. Okay, I'm looking up an actor. I want to see how old he is now because I want to do something real quick. That's gonna okay. So let's see. Okay. What year? I gotta see. What year did this movie come out? Real quick. I'll be with you 1 second. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm the same. I'm maybe a year or two younger than Christopher Lloyd was in the movie Back to the Future. I feel like he looks way older than I am now. Then, but we're like the same age. Like he was around my age when Back to the Future was made. There's a perfect example. Or did he always look old? Ever seen a ghost or an apparition? I saw something. I saw something. I have a video talking all about it. It's I don't want to get into it in this video, but yeah, I definitely saw something and it was probably one of the scariest things I've seen. Driving 4 hours. Oh, I'm keeping you company, Sabrina? Well, I hope you're almost home. Palm Springs? I don't know. They get stuck living the same day over and over. Is it a new movie? That sounds cool. I mean, I know Groundhog Day is like that. Vegan grandma says, I'm 67 and been vegan for 20 years, no health concerns at all, but all my friends are on multiple medications. So glad. Oh, I'm glad you're vegan too. That's awesome. How to get the strength to go straight edge? I'm slowly addicted to THC, like a coping mechanism for when I'm sad or anything happens. Well, I guess my story is a little unique or maybe not, but for me, I've never ever done anything, so I don't know what it's like to be inebriated or to be high or any of these things, and I never wanted to. Like I've never had. For me, I've always been straight edge. I just identified with the term when I was around 14 because that's when I first heard it. But I've always been this way. I've never done anything. Um, I know that's not most people have at least tried different things or at least tried alcohol or something. So I don't know. I just have like I'm like so health conscious that I don't want to put anything like that in my body. And I guess that's how I've always been. Christopher Walken looked older even in Taxi. Yeah, I know. Yeah. He did. He looked like he was in his 60s, but he was in his mid to late 40s and I'm in my mid 40s, so he was about 2 or 3 years older than I am now. Cuz he's 82 now. The movie came out in 85. They filmed it in 84ish. So, yeah, Ralph Macchio aged pretty nice. I mean, he was actually a lot older too when he played the Karate Kid, and he looked like a little 15-year-old kid, and I think he was closer to 30. Well, I mean, the good thing is if you wish you were straight edge, don't worry what you did in the past. Just look towards the present and the future. And if you want to be straight edge, yeah, go straight edge. Don't just stop doing it. See, I don't. I've always had really good willpower. If I want to do something, I do it, and I do it cold turkey. And that's how I went vegan. Cold turkey, boom, cold tofurkey, and so I don't know what it's like. I don't know if I've since I've never done it. I don't know what it's like, but I still feel like I would never do this, but I just wanted to prove a point. Like when I was younger, I know it sounds weird and absurd, but like I wanted to be like, you know what? I've got the willpower to do whatever I want to do. Like I kind of learned that mentality through like Bruce Lee and stuff, but like don't take this out of context. Like, I'm not saying I would ever do this, but I like, part of me, like, just the thought process. I'm like, like, I'll do crack and heroin just to get addicted, to tell myself I can stop it, because I feel like my brain, my willpower is stronger than anything. Although I would never do that. I wouldn't even smoke a cigarette. So, yeah. I feel like we all have the power to, make whatever choices we need to do, and the only person that's going to hold you accountable is yourself. So you just, things that are hard to do, like sometimes it's hard to eat super super healthy. Sometimes you want like some vegan chocolate, or some vegan junk food or processed foods or whatever, which there's nothing wrong with. But when you're trying to eat a certain way, like it's the temptations are there, and it's like a struggle. So maybe that's how it is also when you're thinking about going straight edge. So I might be the wrong person to ask for this, just because I've never done it. I've never done anything. And it's easy just to tell, everyone's different. We're all individuals. So like for me, it's super easy, and I feel like everybody should be able to just like mind over matter, but that's not always the case. So it's an individual thing. I was just telling a story. Like, yeah, my mom thought I was on drugs when I was a kid, and embarrassed me in front of other people. Um, and all these years later, I'm the only one that never did anything. I was actually just talking about that. It's because I was running around outside and it was windy out. And then when I went in and I saw her, my eyes were all glazed over and red because I had been running in the wind. And she accused me of smoking pot or doing drugs. And I was like, what? And this is in the 80s. I was only like 11 or 12, 13 maybe. And I was so embarrassed because some of my friends' parents were there, and they all looked at me with a judgmental eye. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, yes, you did. What did you do? I'm like, Mom, I did not. But, hey, Produce, I'm good. How are you? Not even, nothing. No marijuana, no alcohol, no. I've never tasted alcohol. Never smoked a cigarette. I don't take medicine. Remember the band guy who was vegan and straight edge? Oh, are you talking about Davey Havoc? Listening to him the other day, and he was in several interviews of like, probably Davey Havoc, right? Yeah, he's straight edge vegan. You told yourself you would quit drinking, but then you drank 2 drinks for your birthday celebration. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that, but if you want to quit, you can totally do it. I mean, I think I went to the extreme, because when I was in middle school, we went, luckily I had strict parents, and they didn't let me, drink alcohol. Because, like, when you're a kid, you see your dad drinking a beer, and you're like, Dad, can I have a sip? And he's like, no, no, you're not old enough. And it's like, oh, okay. Um, and I always wanted coffee. I've never tasted coffee either. I've never had coffee. And I always wanted coffee. And my mom told me this. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, and who knows if she was just saying this, but I was a little kid, and my mom would have coffee. I'm like, I want some coffee. And she's like, no, you can't. I'm like, why not? Why not? She goes, it'll stunt your growth. I'm like, what's that mean? You won't grow up and be tall. I'm like, oh, no, I want to get bigger. So in my mind, I never wanted coffee. And I have never had coffee. Alcohol, my parents just said, no, you can't have it. And then when I got to the age where I could have tried to taste alcohol, not to get drunk, but just to taste it, I grew up in a Catholic family, so I went to make my first communion when, I don't know how old you are when you make your first communion, 11, 12, I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to make my first communion, and they give you the the little bread thing, little wafer thing, and then they give you the wine. So I'm like, oh, I get to drink the wine, I get to drink wine. And as I'm going up there, I'm looking at the priest take a sip out of it and then wipe it with like a piece of cloth and give it to the next person, and they drink out of it. And I was like a germ freak, so I'm like, ew, I don't want to drink that after. That's gross. So I refused it. I didn't want any because you didn't have to take the wine. So I just took the little wafer thing, and I never drank that because I was a germ freak. So then later on, I'm in sixth or seventh, I think it was seventh grade. I was in health class, and it was the day that they were showing slides of good and healthy and abused organs. So first we saw what a picture of a good human liver looked like, a healthy one. Well, obviously somebody's dead, but what a healthy looking liver would look like, and then what one cirrhosis of a liver after many years of abuse from alcohol. And then we saw the same thing with the lungs, like healthy lungs, and then lung cancer from smoking. And I understood that you'd have to drink a lot of alcohol and go through a lot to abuse your liver that much to get cirrhosis like that. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't even want a little bit. If that's what it could lead to, in an extreme case, I don't even want a little bit of that. Which, I mean, is extreme too, but still, it scared me enough not to want to drink. And it also did the same thing with the smoking. And I stuck with it. And then when I got a little bit older, when I turned 14, I heard the term straight edge, and I'm like, that's me. And I was like, there we go. And like, my whole morals and ethics just like identified with this. So like, I was actually made fun of. I didn't give in to peer pressure, but I had people that were, friends and classmates and stuff, like over summer vacation, going from 11th grade to 12th grade. They basically made fun of me for never drinking when they did. So a lot of my friends tried, alcohol and different things, and I would hang out with them. I didn't judge them, but I personally wouldn't do it. And I remember one of my friends said, this summer, our goal is to get Chris drunk. And I'm like, it's not happening. I don't care. Like, you can make fun of me all you want. Like, it doesn't matter to me. And I'm so glad that I was that way and I didn't give in to the peer pressure, because I feel good now that I didn't do that. So, but again, like, I'm not coming from like a higher moral ground than anybody. A lot of people just go to that conclusion. I don't care all of my family, my brothers, my friends, I don't really know too many other people that are straight edge like me. In fact, my one friend that was like that for all these years, he's not anymore either. So this is pretty much a personal thing, and I don't judge people. Like, I still hang out with people if they drink or whatever. Personally, like, I mean, if they're doing, I don't usually hang around drugs or anything, and if somebody's smoking, like, I don't want to smell it. I don't care if somebody does it. I'm totally for, people being able to do what they want to do, but personally, I don't want to smell it. So, I mean, I don't see how you get really mad at that, Yeah, after that, as I got older, there were times when I could have, at holiday events, New Year's, Christmas, I could have had wine or alcohol or whatever. I just chose not to at that point. I was straight edge. Um, I I never craved it, and to this day, like I don't feel like I missed out on anything. I don't feel like I need to try it or anything. Part of me, like the curiosity part of me, like wonders, like when people say they're drunk or whatever, like I've got no idea what that means. Like I mean, I see people get drunk. I see people get really drunk. I have no idea how that feels. I don't know what it feels like to be high. Although when I was younger, I had laughing gas. If that's what it feels like, I don't know. I had laughing gas at the dentist. But other than that, like I've never been drunk, and part of me is like, what does it feel like? Can it describe it to me? Like, what does being inebriated feel like? I don't know. But I don't want to know because I also don't want to lose my state of mind. Like, it's not something. I remember seeing an episode of the X-Files, and Mulder was talking to Scully, and he's like, Scully, what drugs can you will yourself out of? And she's like, none. He's like, we're still under the ground. We're still under the effects of that, mushroom stuff. And she's like, oh my God, because they were hallucinating. It was eating them alive. It was a really good episode. But just the way he said that, like, it was the same with like drugs or alcohol. Like, if I ended up drinking or getting drunk, like, I can't just be like, okay, enough is enough. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I'm going to will myself. You can't. You got to wait until the effects wear out. You can't just be like, I'm not drunk anymore. I'm not high anymore. And I never wanted to lose my state of mind, because who knows? Like, I don't know. You see all these bad things happen, and people ending up in jail. So I don't want to lose my state of mind. I want to know what I'm doing at all times. I was always the designated driver, or the mind of reason. Do you know how many of my friends I saved from doing stupid things when they were drunk, just because I was there, working overtime, being the one that wasn't drunk? Like, looking out for my friends because I actually cared. But it got to the point where, like, I was hanging out with people that were like just straight up alcoholics, where like I don't mind hanging out with people that drink, but people that are just getting crazy drunk, like, I just didn't want to do that anymore. And that pretty much ended when I was living on my own down in Florida. We were all young, and that's what most of my friends would do. But I didn't like not hang out with people because they did that. Like, no, I did it for me. I did that for me. Veganism is different. Veganism is for like, it's more of an altruistic, for the animals, for, it's for your health as well, but it's also for the animals, for the environment, for others, straight edge is for yourself. I regret nothing. Anyway, I think we've the Dandy blend. I don't know, but I ate a dandelion I ate the whole thing. I picked a dandelion and ate it. They're good for you. You can eat the whole thing. And I had a lot of dandelions in my yard, but no, I never had the teas or anything. I mainly just stick with water or like a smoothie or a juice. I mean, you can call it extreme or whatever, but like, I feel great at my age and like everything. I don't drink soda. Um, I don't drink artificial fruit juices or anything like that. I drink whole, like, I've been like this for so long. I think the last time I had soda was probably somewhere around 18 to 20 years ago. I don't know, but I used to drink soda a lot when I was a kid. In fact, when I was like 12, 13, 14, and Matt, my friend Matt could he's been working a lot, so he hasn't been on here, but he streams on Twitch with me sometimes, or he used to. We grew up together, and we used to play Dungeons and Dragons. When we would get together, we would like order a pizza, we'd play Dungeons and Dragons with our friends, and we would each have like a 2-liter bottle of like Mountain Dew or something. We'd drink the whole thing. I don't drink soda at all anymore. That was like 30 years ago. My friend with diabetes, yeah, he just disappeared. I don't know, actually. I don't know where he is. Probably went back home. I got some non-caffeinated green tea and English breakfast tea, black tea, something like that. Sometimes I love making tea, and other times I just don't have it for so long. Anyway, I think we've talked about a lot in this stream. I think I'm gonna get going though, and thank you guys all for having a conversation with me. And I don't know. Well, we usually do this every Wednesday, so if you're new here, usually every Wednesday, and we'll be doing movie night again too. So if you guys don't know about the movie night, you can go follow my Discord channel for free. But for movie night, you got to be a Twitch subscriber or a $5 or more patron on Patreon. And if you do have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription every month. And if you don't follow anybody on Twitch already and you have Amazon Prime, you can go support my channel, and then you can have access to the subscriber only channel. We can watch movie night, and it helps me out with my channel, and we can have fun and watch movies and stuff. So like I said, we're probably going to watch some 80s movies, and coming up second, third week of June, we're going to watch E.T. Wow, you know what? That's cutting it close to when I was going to be in California, so I hope I'm home by the time we got to watch E.T. If not, we might have to delay it a few days or something. But I want to watch it on the anniversary of when it came out 39 years ago. So we're coming up on that, and E.T. is my favorite movie, so I'm going to be doing a lot of commentary on that movie just because I have to. You know, Linda just, what is that? What did you link there, Linda? That's the Amazon link? Yeah. Thanks, Ralph. You too. All right, guys. Watch out for zombies. If I go for a walk tonight, I'll go live, but that won't be till late. So if you happen to be up, feel free. If not, you can catch it later on the HD TV on my Instagram. And that's it. So have a good night.